That was a Lamborghini I was looking at. That is a Lamborghini, beautiful Lamborghini. The universe is speaking. Appreciate what nature gives us. That's gratitude. Appreciate the life that you have, the air that you breathe. The fact that we have internet, we seem to overlook this possibility. I had a conversation with my son recently who was asking me, Dad, when did you first use a cell phone? And how long has cell phones been out? That got me thinking. I think cell phones started like maybe 30 years ago, a little longer, 40. But back then it was a different kind of cell phone like we have today. The cell phone was totally different, bulky, and that's a good question. When exactly did cell phones become commercialized? I need to look that up. Anyways, the thing about Jim Rohn was talking about, Jim Rohn is an incredible speaker. He's talked about your philosophy, he's talked about your psychology, he talks about character, talks about habit, talks about a lot of things. But my word is everything that we go through in life, everything that happens on a daily basis in our lives is controlled by one, our thought, how we think, right? And how we think also affects our philosophy. And our philosophy determines your judgment. Your judgment determines your results. So it's interesting. Two salesmen goes to prospect business in a remote country. This salesman, they work for a shoe company. First salesman comes back with his report, says, wow, this is really messed up here. Nobody in this village wears shoes. Second salesman comes with his report, says, wow, this is amazing here. Nobody here in this village wears shoes. Same situation, same company, but different interpretations. It's not what happens that matters, it's how we think, how we interpret, how we perceive what happens. And our perception affects the way we judge, the way we decide. So sometimes it gets me thinking and perception, which one comes first? Thinking, perception, thought, which one really affects each other the more? Because the way we think is controlled by the way we perceive things. And the way we perceive things formulate how we think about things. Thought is important, your perception is important, your philosophy is important. So basically, I'll conclude by saying that everything counts, everything matters. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. That's, I guess, a reasonable conclusion. It's an amazing, beautiful day. We are fortunate to be alive, fortunate to be in the greatest country in the world, fortunate to be living in the greatest times on earth. We have a lot of resources, ChatGPT, we have Wi-Fi, we have cell phones at our disposals, we have softwares, we have access, good water. We in America should be very, very grateful. I came from Nigeria, and when I hear some things that's happening in Africa, it's so easy to forget how other people don't have the basic things we have access to right now in this country. Interestingly enough, a lot of people in the richest country in the world are the ones that complain the most. They're the ones that have lack mindset. They have the most unappreciation for everything, anything. I mean, you see what's happening even on social media today, right? Oh, when I look at these kids that are in very, very dilapidated buildings, you see the dilapidated buildings, the port shacks they live in, the roads very dusty and dirty, but they are dancing, they're enjoying themselves, they're doing a choreography, a routine. And I'm like, this is just at another level. My son even alerted me to this and was like, Dad, were your feet this dirty in Africa? And I'm like, wow. That was so true. My feet used to be very dirty. We played soccer without shoes. We played soccer on bare ground, on concrete, on bad roads with stones, with bottles, with all kinds of things that can cut your leg open. But we enjoyed it. We had fun. I mean, I would really love to show this video of these kids doing some acrobatic moves. They're doing some flips with old tires that they dug the ground, put the tire there as a springboard to do flips. And these kids are doing these flips, recording this on their phones or whatever devices, posted it online, and it's getting thousands and thousands of views. And who are the people enjoying these things? People in the most fortunate country in the world, complaining about this, complaining about that, complaining about t-shirts, complaining about your paycheck, complaining about the internet, complaining about your landlord, complaining about your boss, your worker, your co-worker, your friend, your this, your that, all the time. All they talk about, complain. If this was good, if this was God, if that was better, if this was different. I'm like, wow. My son asked me, Dad, did you used to do flips like this too in Africa in this kind of condition? And I'm like, yes, I did backflips on old tires that we pile up on the street and we'll use it as a springboard to flip. He's asking me, how did it feel with doing it without shoes and versus when you wear shoes? I'm like, son, definitely I would love to wear shoes to do this. It's less impact on your body, but we get used to the system. That's all we have. We get used to it. Our bodies conditioned to those harsh conditions that we do flips. I pay for classes for my daughter to take gymnastics. They take gymnastic classes. These kids in Africa are not going to no gymnastic curated classes. They're doing it on the street. Life is their gymnastics. Thinking about it now. A small move, just a very small twist, you can lose your life in this kind of condition. Because when I was growing up, in my very, very young age, my teenage years, when I was doing these flips, right, we never thought of us dying or hurting ourselves or us bumping our head on concrete. Because that's how we did flips. We did flips on hard concrete. And I'm happy to say I was one of the best back then. I was very good at gymnastics. Anyways, my point is, we are living in the best of times in the world. We have access to the best of tools in the world. We have ChatGPT. ChatGPT can write you a business plan, a movie script, a skit idea, a call to action, a sales letter. Anything can write to you a book, a novel, a fantasy, a fictional book, a non-fictional book. It can access anything you want. Business-wise, career-wise, you can do lectures, you can answer any lecture, you can answer any question. We have access, we have tools, we have everything that can make life the best. Question is, why are people still stuck? Why are people still going through the difficulties and that we still went through 30, 40 years ago? Why are people still stuck? It's all about the mind. The way you look at things is what the thing you look at will reflect to you. And they also say, when you change the way you look at things, the thing you look at changes. Mindset is the key to anything, to everything. The way you think, perception, the way you process the information, your philosophy about what happens. Something happened recently, right? These are grown adults, right? Friends involved in the business transaction. Okay? Things went south, the business didn't fell through, things didn't work out. Now everybody is insulting everybody else. Everybody is calling the other one names. This one is threatening to do this, is threatening to do that. And I explain it this way. I tell them, look, all this anger and name calling and this and that is happening, right? Because the business went south, because nobody made money, right? That's why everybody's mad at everybody. Everybody all of a sudden is a genius. In hindsight, everybody's vision is 2020. It's so easy to look back and say, I knew this, I knew that. When this situation was happening, you didn't know. You knew nothing. That's why you were involved with these people. If you were so much of a genius, you would be doing well by yourself. So in hindsight, everything is 2020. So when situations go south, this happens everywhere, even in school, at work, co-workers, and everybody all of a sudden is the most experienced person, the most knowledgeable person. In hindsight, everything is 2020. I told him, look, because nobody made money, right? That's why everybody all of a sudden, is calling names, abusing each other. What if we made money? What if everybody made money? You made millions, right? Failure does not mean that people are bad. Does not mean that is the end of the world. Failure is just a feedback. Feedback that you just learned the lesson. This didn't work or this doesn't work. Recalibrate, restructure, come back around, find out what you can do differently, right? If Thomas Edison gave up after 9,999 trials, we probably would not have the light bulb, or the light bulb would have been invented by somebody else. This man tried 10,000 times till he succeeded. But see the mindset when he was asked, what kept you going on all this time? Why did you not give up? He said, well, failure is not the end of anything. Failure is just a feedback. I just learned 999,000 ways that the light bulb will not work. Wow, what a mindset. So the way you look at anything is the way, the perception, the way the thing will look at to you. I'm going to round this up with a biblical story. You guys remember the story of David and Goliath. David and Goliath, right? David did not go into the battle saying, today, maybe I'm going to hit Goliath if all the conditions are right. If this stone does not get blown away by the wind, does not get interrupted by the trees, or if I am lucky and hit Goliath with this stone, I will win the battle. David did not say, well, I'm going to try this stone. If it doesn't work, I try another one. If it doesn't work, I try another stone. No. David went in with courage, with faith, with understanding that he saw the victory, he saw the result he wanted. And he went in with his affirmation. We told Goliath, I am going to slay you today. And we'll know whose God is God, right? That was how he went into the battle. Now, the story does not, let's just get unreligious for a second. The story of David and Goliath is happening today. It's not just yesterday's story, it's everyday story. Whatever battles you're going through, whatever challenges, it could be this business that went south. That is your Goliath. How are you going to go back into that situation and handle it? It's so easy for us to place events and just be so narrow-minded. The story of the Bible is not even about, maybe there was no Goliath, maybe there was no David. It does not matter. That's not the point. The point is your reality is happening today. Your situationship is happening today. It's real. It's your Goliath. It's your David. Are you going to be the David to step up to the challenges that is happening in your life and slay those challenges? That's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your week. Check out the link in my bio and join the community, because you want to be part of a community that share ideas. You have encouragement. You have people that think and see things from a healthy point of view. People that look at the cup half full, not always half empty. You want to have a community of people like that. You want to share mindset. You want to rub minds with people that are thinking big, that are going places, that are thinking of possibilities all the time. How else are you going to be positive yourself if all you're surrounded by is how things are falling apart, how this accident here, this war here, this. Yes, those things will always happen. Yes, you thinking and talking about it, does it solve the situation? Does it make it better? Does it make it go away? You only amplifying and spreading it by talking about it, because whatever you focus on expands. That's how the mind works. This thing is easy, it's basic. Join a community. We have a community where we empower, listen to your ideas, brainstorm, share stuff, because there's so much negativity around you. I don't have to tell you, there's so much negativity. The notifications, the emails, it's everywhere. You want to focus your mindset on what you want. All right. My name is Ike, and join my community. Be a part of this movement. Share, like, subscribe. It as well.